The following YouTube cast is a Conscious Waves production.
Hi, I'm Louise.
And I'm Chris.
And we are
Conscious Waves.
Welcome to Conscious Conversations.
Welcome, everybody.
We haven't done a Conscious Conversations for a while.
It's been a while.
And we have never done one like
this Zoom.
Yeah, we haven't.
Mm.
So it's just one of the many new things that we've been up to in the last little while, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been working very hard behind the scenes. We went quiet again for this week. So if we do go quiet for a week or maybe two, it's because we've got a lot going on behind the scenes that we're changing and updating. Like you can see the banner behind us.
Yes.
And what a great segue into, and we're also
on
YouTube, and we're getting that happening. And we're also looking at TikTok, and we're also Instagram, putting up reels. We're also designing our new studio too. So where we're actually going to pretty much have a different background altogether, and invite you into our house pretty much for conscious conversations.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
And it'll be really it's going to be great. It's going to be lovely. So that's going to be happening over let's say the next month.
Yeah, I reckon
that's going to be happening
for sure.
And we've got also setting up the studio and doing that. So, and
Everyday Journey Inspiring Conversations going to start season 2.
Yeah, so we're starting season 2 coming up very soon. We've again like to thank everybody that participated in season 1.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
It really was.
And
I feel like I just know all of these people so well on a whole nother level. Some of them I knew previously.
Yeah.
But now, and some we didn't know any.
Yeah,
we never knew them until we actually were on.
Yeah.
On the Zoom calls with them, and it was just magnificent to meet them. And it feels like lifelong friendships have
absolutely
decided to come into our lives, which we're really blessed with.
Yeah, and we've like people like Jason Stevens, which you still have got to look at doing your
it's
challenge for next year.
I don't know whether it'll be next year or the year after. We've got a lot coming up.
We've got a lot coming up. We're
getting a bucket list actually, which is the first time that I know that I've ever really done one. And that's just through being inspired by other people.
Yes,
learning a bit more about ourselves and going through what we're doing, and it's actually going to lead into quite a bit about what we're talking about today.
Yeah, and also too we've learned so much, like you were saying, we've learned so much from our guests, and taking it into our personal life has been really, really awesome in so many ways. And like you said, it's kind of a great segue into what we're going to talk about tonight.
So what we are going to talk about tonight is intention setting.
Yes, that will be a very, very fine topic to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit keen because we've sort of practiced it and things have started to change a little bit. So we will share a bit of that as well.
100%. And I don't know. I've been to lots and lots of courses in my time.
Yeah, you have.
And a lot of people talk about, when I do intention setting or I do this, it never ever works. And
it's a bit like people say affirmations don't work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is an affirmation.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're going to share some little bits about what's been happening to us as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a great story.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back straight after this.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Are you looking for a website that inspires, educates and empowers you to live a conscious life? Look no further than Conscious Waves. With a fresh look and exciting content, our website is your ultimate guide to conscious living. Join our community of like-minded individuals at Conscious Waves today, and start your journey towards a more conscious and fulfilling life.
Well, we're back.
We're back.
All right. So intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we need to find out, as I usually do, look up the dictionary.
Yes, you do.
And I find out a good definition of what an intention is.
Okay,
right.
So let's share it.
Okay, so an intention is an idea that you plan or intend to carry out.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty basic.
Okay,
really.
All right.
All right, so if you mean to do something, it's an intention.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it can be part of goal setting.
Yep.
You might intend to set a goal, right? But it's the intention at the start, and it is your aim. So it's like an aim. It's a goal. It's an intention. So you're doing it on purpose. All right, and I think that getting that in your mind is actually the first step.
Yeah, that's why it's important to take these on board. And I think the first one I think we were talking about before is clarity of the purpose.
Yes.
So like setting like a positive intent helps you define what you want and achieve.
Yep.
During the week. Let's just say like during the week as we go on throughout our everyday week. Like we all have it.
Yeah.
And we all do it.
And sometimes not getting too far ahead of yourself. I think that was something else that we've really come a bit to terms with, is not living too far outside yourself and not too far in the future.
That's right.
But you can definitely intend to do, or to change an attitude.
Yeah, so it provides a clear sense of purpose.
It does, yeah.
And direction. Like we certainly do need direction.
And, like people, I think, often look on the outside like, oh, well, just tell me what to do. If I want a better life, can someone tell me what to do? And life coaching is a great way that you can actually get on board with that. But it definitely isn't the life coach telling you what to do, how to improve. They might hear in your conversation might be what you want, but there definitely then there's going to be steps into setting some stuff. So having an intention of anything, you do need to be really clear in what you want.
Yeah.
Right. If you just say, I want to be happy.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you can actually have an intent to be happy. You really can, because you can really go, okay, well, I'm going to get up every morning and I'm going to have a better attitude. I'm going to change the way I think of things. And that's a great intent.
Yeah.
If you've really woke up, you think, I don't like what I'm doing or what's happening to me.
Yep.
It's really probably not what's happening to you. It's your attitude towards it.
Correct. Yeah.
So you can change little things at a time, and having that intent to do so
focus
is also
and focus and meaning, like meaningful focus is so important.
It is. Yeah. And then of course it motivates you. Like if you
you've got to have the motivation to drive it.
Yeah. So it'd be, if you didn't have the motivation to do what you wanted to do. So for instance, my intent for this week is to see kindness in everybody.
Okay.
All right. So if I set that intention, what I would be looking for would be finding the kindness in somebody instead of always thinking that there was something against them or that they didn't have any kindness about them. So I would be seeking finding the kindness. Yep. Now, by finding kindness in other people, I would be finding kindness in myself because I need to notice it. I need to understand it. And that gives me a motivation of dealing with people because, maybe I've had a couple of weeks that I didn't like people very much. And so I was getting a bit over them.
Yeah.
And by setting that intention, it motivates me to enjoy then more what I'm doing. That's just one example, I guess.
Yeah, wow.
But I think
that's right.
Probably something a bit more personal is, we really wanted to get this studio set up in our place.
Yeah, we did.
All right. And
we're still doing it. Like
it's not complete yet.
It's a process. And, again, you've got to have that purpose.
Clarity, what we actually wanted. There was a lot of things we wanted and we looked and we searched. But our intent was when we'd set out to do those things was to find something.
Yeah, and we were motivated. So, and that's just exactly what you just spoke about motivation.
Yep.
Like we just didn't go, oh, well, this would be really good.
Well, actually, there has been times in our life we have done exactly that.
Yeah.
We won't, that'll never happen or whatever. But we, the more we put out the intent that we wanted it to happen, the more things we found.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we found a lot of things and it just was until it really was the right thing or how we could feel really comfortable that it worked. But we were definitely, the easier it became was when we were clearing what we wanted. And we definitely just didn't expect it to just drop in our lap, did we? We went out and found it and we saved and...
Yeah, we did all of those things. I look, it's most probably we're going to talk a little bit more about it later, but we also matched our vibration with it as well.
Yeah, and that is really amazing. And having an intent that is a positive one is really good, and I think good too with the motivation is that we've overcome a lot of challenges and obstacles that have come in our way with this.
Yep.
And
I'm sure there's other people out there going, yeah, well, I've done exactly the same thing. It's having the formulas and knowing how to follow them and staying motivated.
Yeah. Yep. And I think the next one is probably something that's so super, super related to us and everybody, I would imagine too. And that's when you have to have a mindset shift.
Oh, yes.
So like I was saying about
shifting the mind.
Not, having a positive intent encourages you to have a positive mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the motivation is or the intent is we want to help people see the good in things, to have a really great life, to realize that, when you're living, sure, things happen, but it's the way that you react to it, or whether it's actually a reaction to it or a response, I suppose you could say. Realize that most of the stuff that's happening to us is because of us, not because of outside influences. And that's a huge mindset change. So if your intent is to actually live a better life, you actually take that motivation, the clarity of your purpose, and you go, right, this is actually, I'm changing my mindset so that I can live a better life.
Can-do attitude.
Yeah, it really is.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. And again, the mindset is really, really important because if you don't have that faculty within your mind going, I can do this. I've got the
I am good enough for it.
I'm good enough for it.
Capable of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very, very tricky to really then start to see things that are actually happening around you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too much in depth in regards to it and how that, the way that we think is way we're thinking is being projected out like a big camera lens stuck on top of your head.
Yeah, yeah.
So the mindset is really, really important.
Yeah, I agree. And, knowing that setting that intention and being clear and having the motivation and getting a good mindset, there's three amazing things that really makes you almost unstoppable.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But there's also other things.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit earlier about goal setting, being a bit goal-orientated. So sometimes it's just about changing your perception about people or about things, or recognizing how amazing most things go for you rather than against you, having just that switch, I think. Now, all of this I don't think you can do all at the one time. No, it's just that they all start to meld in together to make a bit of a recipe. It's like a recipe. It's like ingredients in the cake mix.
Yeah, exactly. They're processes that you'll go through. And some days you'll have a lot of clarity and purpose. And other days you'll have not much clarity and purpose. And then you'll have a lot of motivation.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes that goal orientation, to have a goal that you want specifically to help you get clarity. Yeah. And vice versa. Yeah. And sometimes you've got to sort that out before you can actually get the motivation to keep doing it.
Yeah. And I think that then that comes down to it's the mind shift.
That's right. And really that's the big thing is because, some people say, oh, I really like this, but that'll never happen for me.
No. Yeah.
Do you recognise that?
Oh, was that you?
Or does it sound like me? Like I've sounded like that a lot. Like, everybody else gets that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And that's been my, I've stopped my intentions from ever coming, well, not all the time, but for certain things, 100%. So, thinking about things going for you and having that goal orientating. And that's what I was just saying to you a bit more when you were saying about you're getting organised to do this, desert thing that Jason Stevenson was talking about.
Yes.
I've never really had, as long as I've been comfortable, I've never really had a big list of all the things I really want to do because I go, I'd like a holiday or something like that. And then I don't believe I'm going to have that grand holiday or, be adventurous. So having changed my mindset just a little bit lately, all these things that now I suddenly really want to do. I have a new one today, I should tell you.
Yeah, tell us.
I want to go hot air ballooning. I've forgotten about that. At one point I remember that, and then I was watching something today and I went, hot air ballooning. Should put that, should add that to my list of things that I'm going to intend to do.
Yeah. And, something that just sprung to mind when you were talking about all of that was you should go and listen to, if you haven't already, Kathy Brown.
Oh.
Kathy Brown.
Because that's really cool.
Has some amazing thoughts in regards to all of that. And like, your GPS, all of that. And that is a type of person that has some amazing intentions, settings, because for her to get where she got, like from where she was to where she is now, man, oh man, there it is, pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah, she really. Oops, you've disappeared.
Sure.
She really did have. She really did set an intent to live longer than 2 years, and that was pretty much what
That's what I mean
in her thing. So without spoiling it too much, just knowing her journey, and then how that whole change in mindset did look after her body as well.
Yes.
And she's overcome amazing things and done some fabulous things for people and really inspired people. So, definitely, if you haven't watched it or listened to it, please do so.
Yeah,
or if you have, do it again.
Yeah, because this pretty much ties in a lot with what she was saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And having said that, when you're motivated and you've got a good mindset and you really want to do things, it does increase the amount of thing you can do without it being a burden. Without it being too hard.
I think we experienced that a little bit today, actually.
Yeah, we did. Now, we went through a lot today.
We did.
And in other days too, you just suddenly think, all right, we need to do this, this and this. And then we'd probably do more than that because it's all going towards what we're intending to do.
Yes.
We're putting it out there and we're very positive and we've got our mindset, we're clear, we've got our goal, and then off you go. And things often fall into place differently. You're seeing things differently and clearly and stuff. So
and look, people could be going, oh, yeah, well, that only happens to them and doesn't happen to me.
Well, there's your mantra.
Well, there's your mantra to start with. However, if you go back to our very, very early podcasts and listen to where Louise and I first come from, you'll understand that we've experienced a lot of stuff that's come our way personally, and also as a married couple as well. For sure. So it's not like we've just come up with this, or and it's just got.
No, we're not talking on our podcasts at all about stuff that we actually haven't lived and experienced.
100%. Yeah.
Because otherwise, I've always been that sort of person that you can't teach unless you've sort of lived and experienced it. And we haven't always been in a great mindset.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we were. It's probably really, really good to know that our emotional well-being is something that we can really, really look at as well, because we've been on those emotional roller coasters.
Oh, just this week.
Yeah. And
crazy.
Yeah. I think what we might do is take a short break, and then we might talk a little bit about our emotional roller coaster this week.
I think that's probably okay to share now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. See you soon.
Okay.
Are you ready to dive deep into the world of consciousness and personal growth? Look no further than Conscious Conversations, the podcast that takes you on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. Hosted by a dynamic husband and wife team, who are experienced coaches and thought leaders, this podcast offers insightful and inspiring conversations about a range of topics, from aligning values, mindfulness and meditation to relationships and communication. Each week, they will share their unique perspectives and wisdom on how to live a more conscious and fulfilling life.
Well, we're back.
We're back.
About to talk about some emotional well-being, roller coasters and resilience that we've had to, because also setting intents helps with resilience, because you do tend to overcome some challenges because you really want to do it, because you're intent on doing this. So okay, so
share.
Okay. So I didn't feel so great last Wednesday. because I got an email saying that the position that I'd had for a term that I absolutely loved was coming to an end, which I was very aware of because I knew the date that it was ending. But it sounded like a termination letter. So like, well, this is when it finishes, hand in all your stuff.
Yeah.
And it didn't even really say thanks for coming or thank you for your work or anything like that. It came as a bit of a shock. So something that I was absolutely enjoying a lot more than I thought was suddenly coming to an end, and it felt really
it was a bit confronting.
Well, it was. So, and I, got a little bit angry, I suppose, at one point. Just it could have been done nicer.
Yeah,
like
you just went through the cycles
I just went
how
through,
we process things.
A bit of grief, had a bit of a cry myself sleep moment.
Anger. All of that.
And what am I going to do now? Because I was intent on that I'd got myself into this awesome space. That's what I wanted to keep doing. Anyway, so we sort of, well, I don't know, I'll talk to you about it and whatever. And, we just said, don't live too far into the future. That was the best bit of advice. And, like I still have a couple of weeks to go. So still, I picked myself up and thought, no, well, it's not like I'm not going to do a great job for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So we ended up stopping thinking about it and just kept putting out the intent of this is what I like. This is what I want. And I had to trust that it was going to work with me being in a positive mindset. So something good was going to happen. Maybe something better could have happened just because I wanted this. Maybe there was something better to come.
Yeah.
And the same sort of thing happened to you too, didn't it? No, well, not quite the same.
Yours was most probably a lot more impactful than what mine was. So we'll work with yours. But yours definitely was.
It was sad.
It was
shock and
everything that came with it.
Yeah, disappointment.
Disappointment.
We
had stress. We had everything.
We were our emotional well-being wasn't quite so good.
No, it was all over the shop.
And so, but the good thing about it, which I have to say, I'm looking back being quite proud. It only lasted for a couple of days.
Yeah, actually, I think that it actually lasted less than a couple of days.
By Friday, I think we were. Pretty. Okay.
Yeah.
About, like we were moving forward. I wasn't as devastated.
Yes, absolutely.
And usually, I'd have to say in the past, I could have gone downhill and let it affect me and then let it affect absolutely everything else for a really long time. And I was really grateful that I didn't get to that.
Yep.
Anyway, lo and behold, this afternoon, currently I've got another contract.
Yeah.
So... and we just kept being in that moment of having a positive intent, didn't we? We just and you helped, which was good. I wasn't in this alone.
Look, I think that the biggest thing, and this is where a lot of things fall short of actually getting what you want. Now, we have in the past been people that have felt, nah, it's never going to happen to us. Nah, we can't do that. Nah, I won't. And obviously, it didn't happen.
That's right.
It's a little bit like having the carrot dangling out in front of you.
Yes,
it's close, but it's not close enough. And my thing is that we need to live in the moment, in the time and space of where we are right now. So you and I are in this space right now saying what we're saying. What we've said prior to what we're saying now is in the past.
That's right.
So we've got no control over that now. I mean, we can go back and edit it and all of that stuff.
Oh, yes.
All right. But if we didn't have the editing side of things, that's it. It's right now. It's living in the moment now. So my intention for you, which is what I said to you that you needed to do, was you need to set this intention so that it's not actually out there. Like that, and I disappeared.
Right,
there you go. Because I wasn't there yet. So there you go. That's perfect.
I'll bet that happened.
Yeah, look at that. We didn't even. It was setting the intention of where you are right now. And I do believe that this works because I've visualized like a little tiny square around me. So I'm here now, and I might maybe about 30, 40 centimeters all around me, or a meter. You get, let's say, a meter around me. With inside there is where I set my intention. Now, outside of that, then it projects out and it goes out. But it's being right in that moment, right there, and you can feel it. If you stop long enough and you set that intention right where you are right now, you will feel it.
And I think it helps when you actually feel what it's like, actually having it, not what it will be like when you do eventually have it, because that's putting it out
exactly
to that carrot that you were just talking about.
And that's why I said to you, well, what you need to do is you need to set the intention right now, right where you are, that you're going to get another contract.
Yeah, and I did.
And then when you set that, you don't put time on it, right? So you don't turn around and go, oh, well, I want it by the end of the week. Or,
no, I didn't put any time on it. Yeah.
However, in saying that, you say, I am setting the intention now. All right. Now, people will go, well, you've set a time for it. You're saying you want it now. No. I'm setting the intention now.
It's the intention that you're setting now, not the result.
Thank you. That's not what I'm setting. And you will find that if you stop for a second and you set that intention now, you will find and then just let it go. Yep. You do not control it, right? You let it go. You're going to find that, look, some things may take a week, they may take a month, they might take a day, whatever, but something will shift. Now, I know that people are going to go, oh, yeah, well, that means then I could set the intention that I'm going to win $1 million and, I'm going to get it. Right?
They might.
Now, they might. However, right, you've also then got a lot of other things that also too need to shift out of the way. Because if your mindset is set that I'll never get money, right, then pretty much you setting the intention of going, you know what, I want $1 million now. Before you actually get that $1 million, there is going to be a lot of stuff in your personal life that is going to shift and move sideways, up, down, round, you name it, it's going to happen to you depending on the type of situation that you are in.
Yep.
That is what's going to happen first before anything else shifts. And I don't know what that could be.
No.
But I know that does happen.
Could be that some relative might have to die so that you get an inheritance. Who would know?
You don't know.
You don't know.
But you don't put anything on it.
That's right. And that's not up to you to know the future.
But these are the keys of setting, like I'm talking about intentions. But you've got to have all of the other components like the emotional well-being, the resilience, the clarity, the motivation. You can't just go, I'm going to set this right now and then just walk away and go, well, hang on, where is it? It's not here now.
Yeah.
No. Because you've got to have it right going on up here as well.
Yeah.
It's very, very important.
It really is.
All right?
And there
emotionally, spiritually, physically, you've got to have those things. And look, there's a lot of people out there that are talking about, physical well-being. There's a lot of people out there and that are talking about emotional well-being, and they're doing so many great things. I mean, we had Nero, like Jason Stevens, all of the Stevenson. I always say that's because I've got a friend. All of those people are all over it. Beverly Boltitude, they're all over it in regards to talking about all of those things and getting that on track. So there's a lot of things that circle around it.
Yeah. So, and by having an intent, you do grow personally because of all of these things that we were just talking about. It is,
and it will shift. There's a lot of shift.
Yeah, and it does improve your self-discipline because if you want the intent. And look, if you're anybody like I have been, and I'm well, I am getting better. I'm learning.
We all are.
Not to live.
It's not just you.
Yeah, but not to live so far into the future, because I think I'm forgetting to actually live my life now and enjoy all of those things.
Yeah, right now.
Being too worried about what may happen. It doesn't feel the same now when I say that. But I think I must be learning, moving forward. So those are the sorts of things that I think is great, because, then you get like a better balance with things too.
Yeah, you don't have to actually think. The stress lifts off your shoulders,
it really
because
does.
you're
It does
actually
reduce your stress.
living in the moment.
Yeah. And to be honest, the last thing that I expected really to come in my day today was that news.
Yeah.
So close to the end of my work day, and then just suddenly that, I didn't put a time frame on it. I wouldn't have known. It was exactly, I did exactly the exercise that you said. And it was miraculous. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. But yet I was really grateful, and it really taught me a great lesson.
Yeah, and look, that was the other thing with mine too. Very, very quickly, mine was moving from one position into another position at work.
Yeah,
and I thought to myself, I do want to get that position.
Yeah, work. You really did enjoy it. You got a bit of a taste of it.
Yeah. And all of a sudden today, it was just like, we'd really, really like to have you doing the new position. And it's just like, okay, right. And that was because I set the intention now. And then I let it go. Because I do believe that there is a greater force out there than what we are here. And I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have.
We are a soul having a physical experience.
That's right. And everything's working for us.
For us.
If we believe it does.
It does. Exactly.
Yeah,
and it can.
You've got to be clear about what
That's exactly right. Yep, for sure.
So it's definitely. Dharma is one. That's that big thing.
That's
also,
right. That Nero was talking about.
Yeah, also,
exactly right.
Also karma. I mean, if we're putting out positives come back.
Yeah.
If you want to find kindness and you want to be kind, you find kindness. That's the same sort of thing that we're doing.
Yeah. Look, it's really, really amazing to be able to talk about this type of
I
disappeared again. It's really important that you get it right in your own mind too, what's right for you.
That's right. And it will, you'll have different things to
100%.
Different mindsets.
Yeah, and we're be going in different directions.
We're all so unique.
Yeah.
And that's what I think makes everybody's journey exciting. And that's why sharing and finding out on our other podcast, Everyday Journey Inspiring Conversations.
I love that.
You can just learn so much. I
know,
I've missed it actually.
And I've said, look, I just sit there when I know that you do a lot of the speaking and that, but I sit there and just absorb it all. And then I'm really lucky because I actually get to listen to all the podcasts again as I go through editing and stuff like that. And I go, oh, wow, that's so good. I've got to remember that. Sometimes I sit down and write things out, so, I get the good job that way too.
You do. Yeah. Well, even though it's lots of hours, it's good. I'm glad you like it. Yeah. I know you do come up and you remind me of things that have happened.
So personal growth is, you definitely get a lot of personal growth out of it. And it does definitely improve your self. It definitely does improve your self-discipline.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, you want to do something, you're going about doing it.
Yeah, and look, and I've noticed, even driving to work this morning, I noticed I wasn't thinking about just being in the now, and I was starting to worry about, thinking about what all these different scenarios that we're going to play out with you.
You play a lot of scenarios.
Right? And all of a sudden, I just stopped myself and said, no, you're not in the now. Be in the now. Be right now. And I went, oh, okay, yep, I'm just driving the car. That's where I am right now. And wow. And I tell you what, it does. It takes a lot of self-discipline to do that.
That's right. It's a practice.
It's a practice.
Right. If you haven't done it before, it's a practice.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And it does make you feel better with the whole balance. I think we were talking about that.
Yeah, balance life.
Because if you're so forever worried about what might happen,
again,
you're not present. You know, you're not
No.
present for the people who want to talk to you or that you get
100%.
help or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, a
Yeah.
great skill, and it's all about intention setting.
Yeah, cool. So let's take a break, and
Short
I
break.
think that we'll also just talk a little bit more about how you can implement that in your
Yes.
life a little bit more.
We will.
Okay. See you soon.
Introducing Everyday Journey, Inspiring Conversations, the show that brings you the most incredible, inspiring, and heartwarming stories straight from the lives of remarkable individuals. Each week, join us on a journey where we meet people who have experienced the extraordinary, do some remarkable things, or make a real difference in the people around them. Our podcast features an incredible array of guests who will leave you in awe. We believe that everyone has a story worth telling, and through this podcast, we provide a platform for these remarkable individuals to share their experiences, inspire others, and remind us all of the power of the human spirit. Get ready to be inspired, uplifted, and moved by the stories that will stay with you long after the episode ends.
We're back.
We're back.
All right. So here comes a very brief outline, I guess.
Yeah.
Of
I mean, we talked a lot about it just a minute ago about how you can set it, but yeah,
it's the process of pretty much implementing intention setting into your life, I guess. If you haven't done it before. So it's always, like we said, it's a process. So it starts off with getting clear on your intent. Really?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then you practice being in that moment when you set that intention.
Yeah.
And letting it go and not worrying about it.
Yeah. And letting it go and not worrying about it.
That's huge.
Give that a go.
That's the practice. That's the practice, really.
Yeah.
Getting in the moment of really loving what you really want, getting it all together, getting the thought, getting the feeling, and then letting it go.
Yeah.
Then living in the moment for whatever else comes your way.
Yeah. And then
after that, then you're
it's a habit.
Becomes a habit. That just becomes a habit that you can set that intention.
Yeah.
Or set a new intention. You don't have to just have one.
Yeah. And then it becomes like a behavior.
That's right. So once you've got it in a habit, now I don't know how many times they say you have to go over something for it to become a habit. I think it's something like 68 times. It becomes a habit. And once you're in a habit, it becomes your behavior.
Yes.
Which is great. So for instance, say you wanted to change from being an angry person to a happy person. That's a really basic one.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's
so,
fine.
You know, you just don't want to see that everything's bad in the world. You want to see things are good. So imagine the shift of that behavior. That suddenly you're being nice to people, that you're kind-hearted, you're not, you know, you're hearing from people from a nice area.
Yep.
You're not jumping to conclusions, all of that. And you're starting to recognize that the sun is a beautiful color and, you know, all things around you. And you become quite a different person. Your behavior is different. People are going to notice that.
Oh, yeah, 100% they are.
And you'll have an effect on people instead of people going, I don't want to talk to them because they're a bit grumpy.
Yeah, and that'll ripple out to everybody else that are around you or that are connected to you.
So once it then becomes a behavior, it actually becomes who you are.
Yeah, it becomes like second nature.
That's right. So if your intent is you're going to have a great career doing exactly what you want to do with people that you love.
Yeah.
That becomes well, not necessarily who you are, but you will attract that. And that's your intent. And then you live into that area. If we want to go over to India next year and be in Kathy's thing. I can't wait. 2-hour massage every day.
Yeah, I am. I said that to Kathy when we were talking to her. I said, I'm already putting that out there. So
so things are going to come up.
To stick there and put that intention. Now, that means, look, I'll be honest with you, it's I think it's like $20,000 each to go. So, however, you know what? I don't care because the thing is that I'm going to set the intention for it, and then I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to let it shift, and I'm going to let it maneuver around. It's a little bit like playing with plasticine, isn't it? Like, you know how you can make it in different shapes and forms and all of that. It's exactly
it's Play-Doh now.
Well, Play-Doh,
I know, but
we used to call it plasticine.
I know, it's good.
Yeah, for all of those older people. Plasticine.
Oh, I haven't heard that. Wait, and you will see our journey because, you know, we could very possibly get our passports this holidays.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Intention.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing. And funny that you should say that. Like, I mean, we had our Father's Day yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were walking down one of the streets, and we actually got talking to our daughter, and she said, well, then you should get your passports.
Yep.
See, so all of a sudden, just that little flicker of get your passport, you know, that's already, because we've already started to put that intention out there. There you go. It's already, it doesn't matter what form it comes in.
You get messages.
They're like what a beautiful guy that used to train me, Rob Whitewood, would always turn around and say, look for the signposts. You know, you'll be amazed of, as you go along, and as you go from point A to point B, in between that point A and point B, there are all of your signposts.
Yeah, and if you live too far in the future, you don't see
You
them.
don't see any of them.
Living in the now, so you can see.
Yeah, absolutely. And if
I just got that really clearly. About then.
Yeah, and if you don't, and if you've the best movie to maybe have a look at that to see about living into the future, go and have a look at the movie Click.
Oh, yes.
All right, go and have a look at the movie Click, and then that will set everything that Louise and I have talked about tonight.
I've forgotten about that. That's a great
that
movie.
will set everything into place. That will just work beautifully with this podcast. You know, listen to this podcast, then go and watch Click and see what we mean, and
how much you miss out on.
Yeah, and how much you miss out on. I'm gonna
so it's all about that. So the Click is all about the remembering to live in the moment.
Yeah. So I'm going to spoil it, but yeah, go and watch it. It's a good movie. So yeah.
So once you've done that, that then becomes you're living into that intention. So, like I said, you don't have to. You don't just have one intention. You know, there might be one big one, like your goals or whatever, but then you can go into that. So
yeah,
I guess that's what.
Well, see, what I also see, and I think that's what you were just saying that you just got for yourself. See, I always see that people go, oh yeah, well, I'm going from point A to point B. And I say, okay, well, that's great. But what's in between point A and point B? Well, what's in that gap?
Well, it's mostly the lessons and the experiences.
Exactly.
And actually
but it's actually so it's A point 1, A point 2, A point 3, A point 4 till you get to B. Then when you're at B, then it starts again.
Yeah.
And depending on what type of intention setting you've set will depend on how many A, B, C, D, and it might only go to E, and then you might actually get there. So it's these tiny little things that are in between. You know, it's like what I've heard before too. When you're building a house, you know, you've got that mortar so you put a brick, then you put the cement, right? Yep. And then you stick the next brick on, right? But it's not the two bricks that are holding the two bricks together. It's the mortar that's in between. That mortar in between, right, is the thing that's in between point A to point B.
It's really important. Otherwise, if you just stacked all the bricks up, then just
they'd all fall down.
Someone would just knock it.
That's right. So brick 1. So A is brick 1 and B is brick 2, but the mortar in between, that's the one.
So another little thing then that we're going to come up with that might help you along with intention setting and also us is that we're going to be thinking of putting up an intention that you could. So if you might not have any, or you might run out, or you might want to practice, and hopefully it'll spur you on to think about different things. Yeah. But we thought we'd put together some reels or go onto Instagram. Yeah. Or maybe TikTok. Maybe. Or one of those. Yeah. And post up an intention for the week. Yeah. And then maybe follow it up with a couple of affirmations or something throughout the week to see how you're going, to get us on a track to keep us reminding ourselves of the people that we want to be. Absolutely. Really. Because it's a journey. And I think we said right at the very beginning that, not of this podcast, but of earlier ones, that this whole thing is a journey for us as well as a journey for you.
and we'd love you to come on this journey with us.
Yeah, for sure.
And and share all of your things that you might have experienced, or and this is why then we have everyday journey inspiring conversations, because wow,
to share people's stories is the best.
To share people's stories is amazing, and some of the feedback that we've got in regards to how certain people's podcasts or video cast have helped them and helped their friends and others. Amazing.
Yeah, it is. And everybody that's come on has actually enjoyed the experience as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They've all started off a bit nervous. Well, not all of them, but a few of them. And, really, we just have a lovely time.
We do.
It's just we have a conversation.
It's just a chat.
Yeah,
just a chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, so you could see those intentions and intention settings on...
they should be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, they will be. I think you've been working on a couple.
I tried one out today.
Did you? Oh, well, there you go. So
we'll be editing going.
Yeah, so as soon as we get our TikTok up and running, or Instagram, one of the two, more than likely we'll most probably post them up on both.
Yes.
But go there and you'll be able to see.
And if you don't have Instagram, I think you can put reels up on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. We can
maybe
do it on Facebook as well. We'll put it up on the Conscious Waves Facebook page as well. So we'll have it all going. So
on Instagram anyway.
Yeah, and look, TikTok. Well, both you and I are a little bit. We don't know about it.
But, too old.
Hey, we're going to set the intention that we're going to learn it.
Imagine us being TikTok stars.
Oh, TikTokers. We call ourselves the old TikTokers.
Oh, who knows?
Oh, never mind. See, we're having a good laugh.
That's
right. Yeah.
It's all good.
All right. So stay tuned for series 2 for Everyday Journey Inspiring Conversations. We've got some rippers coming up soon.
Yep.
So that's going to be happening. And we've got a couple of other things, like we've said. We've got the studio that will be coming to you as well.
Yep.
We've got a few other things that are
just trying to keep everything good, keep us connected, keep you guys connected, help inspire you, motivate you.
Yeah.
Help you feel really great about yourself.
Yeah, and the website's changing around.
We've got a few little things.
So we've got a few
on the website too.
A few little things that, look around and know where we are even more. Lots of stuff there.
Yeah, keen as a bean.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed that. And our intent was to finish this podcast tonight, and we've done it.
There you go. And the other intention was that we were going to get you to give us a affirmation.
Oh, an affirmation. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
take a nice deep breath in. I am worthy and capable of anything I put my mind to.
Oh, yes.
So I am worthy and I am capable of anything I put my mind to.
Anything that I put my mind to. Wow. I love that.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yes, I think that's a good one. I should remember that myself.
All right, then. We'll see you on our next podcast. That'll be our Everyday Journey Inspiring Conversation.
It will.
I'm Chris.
I'm Louise.
And we are Conscious Waves.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.